Hello, I'm Richard Bayliss. I'm Senior Regulatory Affairs and Compliance Manager at Playtech. We've been working on a variety of different initiatives. In 2021, Playtech were the first company to be accredited for GamCare's B2B safer gambling standard. So that's a new standard that was developed by GamCare and builds on their B2C standard, which was widely adopted by the industry over the last few years. I think it's really important that suppliers recognise their role in making gambling safer, and the B2B standard that GamCare have introduced enables businesses to show what they're doing to make gambling safer, shows that the culture and the training is in place to ensure that products are developed that can support safer gambling for our licensees. So the process for GamCare included interviewing key staff and making sure that we were taking into account different risks and training our colleagues in the development process so they build in safer gambling principles to the products that we produce from the outset. We've also continued to collaborate with a wide range of different organisations, both within and outside the gambling industry. We think it's absolutely vital that collaboration takes place in order to utilise the expertise of different groups so we can help prevent as much gambling-related harm as possible. One example is Playtech's continued support of the GamCare gambling-related financial harms project, which has brought together the financial services sector, the debt advice sector, treatment providers such as GamCare and gambling industry operators. That has helped develop a toolkit which supports services and teams that deal with vulnerable customers in the financial services sector and the debt advice sector can use to support people who may be suffering harm from their gambling. We believe it's vital that awareness is raised and more effective support can be offered via a range of different points. So it's not just around customers being able to contact a support service like GamCare, but if they present with financial difficulty to their bank, the bank might be able to understand that gambling is one of the contributing factors, and therefore they can provide them with the right support and access to treatment from that route. We've also initiated a safer gambling innovation challenge within our business. This was a pilot that we trialled across the Playtech products, and within it we asked our product teams to come up with solutions that they could help build safer gambling into products from the outset. So we thought this was a vital first step because we have got colleagues that are always looking to innovate on products. We want to make sure that they're supported in adding in safer gambling functionality and features to products from the outset. We think that's absolutely vital because rather than adding on tools and products after products have been developed, it's much easier to build them in from the start, and that way you can make sure that products are both entertaining but safe from the very outset. We've seen some really interesting ideas come from our colleagues, and we'll be looking to build them into our roadmap for the next 12 months or so. And it's also an initiative that we want to repeat because we think it's absolutely vital that as well as innovating on the entertainment side of gambling, we also need to be applying the same sort of expertise and efforts on safer gambling too. I think the industry has made good progress in 2021, but we'll always have to do more because what we understand about players is changing and expectations from regulators and others is continually evolving. I think what has been useful is that the Gambling Act review has given industry an opportunity to take a stock take on where it is at the moment, what it's doing well and where it needs to improve. I think one of the key areas where there has been progress is that operators are building in assessment and monitoring of risks for their players at a much earlier stage. I think that the approach now is that you build an understanding of your customers from day one, and you have to get much more evidence positive evidence to ensure that the customers are spending what they can afford, and rather than relying on reactive checks, operators are being much more proactive about the information that they request from their players. And where they can't get satisfactory responses, they're imposing limits on players or restrictions until such time that the players can provide evidence to support their play. So I think from our perspective as a supplier, we think it's vital that industry continues to improve the use of data and technology to support safer gambling. So Playtech's data analytics solution, which is called Bet Buddy, can be used to identify customers that might be at risk, and it can also identify the behaviours that are driving that player risk. We think if you can use effective identification tools alongside real-time customer interactions, operators and industry will be able to intervene far earlier and more effectively with their customers. So one of the initiatives that we're looking to continue trialling is the use of this monitoring and then interacting in real time, and trialling different methods, different types of messaging, so that we can effectively intervene with customers. I think that's something that will continue to grow over the next 12 months. The Gambling Commission are going to consult on customer interaction, and we hope that one of the things that will come out of that is a more consistent approach across the industry to interact effectively with customers, and greater expectations and consistency around those types of interaction. That way players will see more consistent approaches from the different operators that they gamble with, and the industry will also benefit from having a common approach to player risk, and hopefully that then demonstrates that the tools are already there to monitor, intervene and help support safer gambling.